Hookah, hookah, chaka, hookah, 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 chaka, hookah, hookah. I can't stop this feeling. Chaka, hookah, hookah, deep inside of me. Hookah, chaka, hookah, hookah, girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. Hookah, 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 chaka, when you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright. Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl, but I don't need no cure. I just stay a victim if I can for sure. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. All the good love when we're all alone. Yeah, you turn me on. Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I said I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
And on top of it, our head coach is not here. So, like, it's in his office somewhere, but there's like 4 or 5 rooms.
Hookah, chaka, hookah, 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 chaka, hookah, 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 chaka, hookah, 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 chaka, hookah, hookah.
I can't stop this feeling
Chaka, hookah, hookah,
deep inside of me.
hookah, chaka, hookah, hookah,
Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me.
hookah, 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 chaka,
When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright. Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup.
Hello and welcome everybody on InlandValleyBaseball.com. Dave Sobera on the play-by-play as always. Proud to give you all 9 innings today of Sunset Baseball League action between the Arroyo Seco Saints and the Inland Valley Pirates. This is the 5th time these two teams have met, as is common here in the Sunset League. You'll play against each team 5 times apiece. And so far, it's the Pirates who've gotten the better of the Saints. Pirates winning 3 out of the 4 previous encounters. In fact, the Pirates actually won the first 3 of the season before the Saints finally broke through with a win last week against the Pirates. Actually, if you recall, last week they played a home-and-home series on Friday night out at Jackie Robinson Field, and that game was a long game to say the least. It was a 13-9 score, and it lasted about 4 hours. And then you looked at the next day, and they played about a 2.5-hour game, and it was a low-scoring 4-1 affair. So it was kind of like the exact opposite types of games between the 2 days as we work our way towards opening pitch. We know this. The Inland Valley Pirates' magic number is 2. And so any combination of 2 wins for the Pirates or 2 losses for the Saints means that the Pirates will make the playoffs. So what does that mean in this game? Well, we just said any combination of those 2 things happening. So that means that if the Pirates were to win today, they would clinch a playoff spot because they would get 1 win and the Saints would get 1 loss in this 1 game. And that would also, in all likelihood, eliminate the Saints as well from the playoffs. As right now, there are 2 spots locked in into the playoffs. Actually, really, there's going to be 4 spots locked in. But at the moment, as we look at it right now, the number 1 seed is going to be the Cardinals by virtue of a 6-4 win today. Scored 3 runs in the 9th inning. They were trailing 4-3. And the Surf couldn't buy an out in that last inning for whatever reason. A couple errors and then a couple timely hits for the Cardinals put them over the edge. And so that actually puts the Surf in the number 3 seed, which is a little bit strange just in the sense that the Surf has the second best record, but the Northern Division champion automatically will get the number 2 seed. So the number 2 seed has yet to be decided, and the number 3 seed is already decided. A little bit funny there, as the North has not been locked up yet. The North, the magic number is 1 for the Signal Hill Oilers at the moment. So obviously the Oilers are Pirate fans today, rooting for the Pirates to beat the Saints and for them to get in the playoffs that way. Otherwise, they're going to have to do it on their own volition on Saturday morning in an early 11 a.m. game against the OC Surf. That's when the Signal Hill Oilers will play next. For the Saints, they have this game here today against the Pirates, and then 2 against the Sliders to close out the regular season. So they'll play, like we said, tonight, and then 5 o'clock game tomorrow and a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. And so that's what the next 3 days looks like for the Saints. For the Pirates, meanwhile, obviously, once again, you have the 6 o'clock game tonight. And then tomorrow, a doubleheader with the Solana Beach Cardinals. And for what for the Cardinals really is a meaningless doubleheader. They've already locked up the number 1 seed. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of play that doubleheader tomorrow. Pirates have an off day on Saturday and Sunday, a 7 o'clock p.m. game on a Sunday, a rarity. But that is when the Pirates will take on the OC Surf for the last regular season game of the season, not just for those 2 teams, but for the entire Sunset League, as that's the only game happening on Sunday the 24th. Kyle Wade taking his warm-up pitches here. Obviously, Kyle Wade, one of the top pitchers on the Pirates this season. We remember his best performance for sure in Sunset League play against the Solana Beach Cardinals in a game that he was absolutely sensational in and shut them down for 7 innings. And then actually the bullpen blew his win in the top of the 9th inning. But the Pirates ended up walking off in the bottom of the 9th. So it was kind of a weird game just in the sense, like we said, it was 2-1 pretty much through 7 innings as both pitchers were just shutting down the other offenses. And then all of a sudden, in the 9th inning, he had a couple runs scored. But that was certainly his best outing so far this summer season as Kyle Wade continues to get loose here. And we will give you the starting lineups for both the Saints and, of course, the Inland Valley Pirates. This is what it looks like for the starting lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Leading off, the center fielder, Lowell Shipper, followed by the second baseman, Chase Aldridge, and the shortstop, Spencer Rouse. Then it'll be Jeremy Conant in the cleanup spot. The first 3 in the lineup, all 3 made the Sunset League All-Star game. So, too, did Fernando Rosales, the left fielder in the number 5 spot. Max Warren, the EH, is batting 6th. Following him will be Alex Briggs, Cole Pilar, Tom Fuller, and Arturo Oropeza Reyes. That's what the lineup looks like for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Meanwhile, we'll give you the defensive arrangement right now for the Inland Valley Pirates. Left to right across the outfield, Luzzi, Hopkins, and Wright. Left to right across the infield, you have DeMarte, Patron, Anton, and McKenzie. The battery, the aforementioned Kyle Wade. Here's the first pitch, and we're underway. Fastball, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Caught by the backstop behind home plate, Alberto Vargas. Alberto Vargas, I think one of the clubhouse favorites, as oftentimes catcher can be a leader on the team. But Vargas, man, I think they like him a lot. Fastball upstairs, ball 1-1 the count. They're calling him Mr. Traps today because they say that he works out his traps each and every day. And obviously he was saying that that's so valuable, just not just for playing baseball, but for life. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball behind the plate, hit towards Vargas. Vargas throws his mask, and Vargas is not going to make the play as he misjudged that one, and it's 1-2. Well, Alberto Vargas kind of shrugging his shoulders and laughing it off a little bit, and the home plate umpire actually checking up at the light. The sun is pretty much right behind there, and you don't necessarily think of it affecting the catcher. Usually it affects the left side of the infield as well as the left field or the left side of the field, but that's still probably about an hour or so away from when the sun starts setting. So home plate umpire just trying to check it out for Alberto as Kyle Wade heading the count 1-2, working against Lowell Shipper. Shipper was actually the SPL hitter of the week a couple weeks ago. Here's the pitch. Fly ball over to Brennan McKenzie in foul territory. Actually just works his way into fair territory, and that'll be the first out here in the top of the first inning. 1 up and 1 down for Kyle Wade as Lowell Shipper is retired, and that'll bring up Chase Aldridge. Chase Aldridge, the second baseman at Harvard University. Number of very intelligent players, Ivy League players on this team. Actually, a couple in the starting lineup here today, including Aldridge and Fuller. Actually, these two guys, Aldridge and Fuller, were high school teammates as well at Harvard Westlake. And I know that Harvard Westlake team, here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1-0 the count to number 1-0 on the Saints. That Harvard Westlake team that Chase Aldridge and Tom Fuller were members of, 6 or 7 of those guys ended up playing in Ivy League schools. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, ball 2-0 the count to Chase Aldridge. Aldridge batting .222 on the season and in that number 2 spot in the lineup. So a lot of 2s coming up there for the left-handed hitter, working against the right-handed pitcher in Kyle Wade. Play kicking the pitch. Breaking pitch misses low for a ball, and it's 3-0. Kyle Wade, 6'2", 195. Played at Iowa the past couple seasons. He redshirted there and also played there as a redshirt freshman this past season. But he will be moving to Santa Barbara City College as a sophomore. Strike 1, 3-1 the count. Major in communications, hometown of Chino Hills, and went to Chino Hills High School before attending Iowa University, the Hawkeyes. Here's the 3-1. Fastball strike 2, and the count is full. So Kyle Wade, after falling behind 3-0, has worked his way back in this count with a couple of strikes in a row here to Chase Aldridge. Payoff pitch to come. First payoff pitch of the day issued by Kyle Wade, working out of the windup from the left side of the rubber. He delivers, ground ball, right side, foul territory, and the count remains full to Aldridge. Aldridge doing what a good number 2 hitter does. A lot of the times you'll see the number 2 hitter as being a big contact hitter, and certainly is able to do a lot of different things with the bat, get bat on ball, put the ball in play, and so that's what Aldridge did right there. Protected the plate on a 2-strike count, and he will live to see at least one more pitch here. The 7th pitch of the at-bat to come to Chase Aldridge working against Kyle Wade. Like we said at the top of the broadcast, you now know what's on the line here today for the Inland Valley Pirates. A win and they're in the playoffs. Here's the full count offering. Breaking pitch, little flare out to shallow left field over the head of Patron, and it falls in for a base hit. And so that'll be the first hit of the day for the Saints. And the Saints looking to score some runs here in the top of the first inning as Chase Aldridge is trying to start a rally. And we will go to the heart of the order, and Spencer Rouse. Rouse, the shortstop out of Lafayette College, steps up to the plate. An SBL All-Star this season for the Saints. Taking his lead off first is Aldridge as Kyle Wade works out of the stretch for the first time today. Wade taking his time. The runner bluffs. And Vargas, quick throw down to first. Not in time. And the pitch misses at the plate. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Just underway at Scalinos Field on the campus of Cal Poly Pomona, as the scoreboard has been given life. It's starting to dance a little bit out there, so that could be a good sign here, as it appears like we might be on our way towards potentially getting a scoreboard operational. Meanwhile, Wade dangling his arm down, comes set, and here comes the 1-0 offering. Runner bluffs again, line foul down the first base line. Almost looked or appeared to be sort of like a hit and run, but like we said, the runner put on the brakes, but just in the sense that the hitter going to the right side of the field, that's kind of what gave that kind of thought to my mind. And not a bad time to do it with 1 out either, certainly, as Kyle Wade, a little bit deliberate here in the first inning, taking his time. Here's the pitch. Low and away for another ball. Good block there by Alberto Vargas, and the count is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of 1. No score yet. Saints do have a runner on base in the form of Chase Aldridge, who had the bloop base hit to left center field. Wade delivers, the runner goes, and the pitch is fouled out of play over the first base dugout for strike 2, 2-2 the count. Well, Chad Cordero is in the managerial role here today. Cordero taking over as both Jensen Torres and J.J. Franklin were not able to make it. So maybe a little bit of a different look, as Cordero is helming this team and steering the ship for the Pirates here. This is his maiden voyage as a manager. Here's the pitch. 2-2 misses low for ball 3, and the count is full. So another payoff pitch to come. This is the second payoff pitch to be delivered by Kyle Wade. Well, I guess technically not the second overall, as he delivered a couple to Chase Aldridge, but the second time in a row that a hitter sees a full count offering from Kyle Wade here in the top of the first inning. Late kicking the pitch. The runner goes. Fly ball right field, right at Hayden Wright. And he will make the one-handed grab for the second out. 2 down. Top of the first inning. Well, as you know, I mean, it's worth noting pretty much every time, but Hayden Wright was meant for right field. The last name of Wright just got to be out there and right. It was the right thing to do. How many times can you say right in a row? Man. Here comes Jeremy Conant, the cleanup hitter. First baseman, large left-handed batter. Certainly has a lot of pop behind that bat. Runner goes. Fastball strike 1. And sliding in head first with a stolen base is Aldridge. Might have been a close play if Vargas could have handled it. Although, obviously, Aldridge got a good jump, but it was a quick fastball, and Vargas popped up quickly, but lost it in the transfer to his throwing hand. And I think the reason he lost it is because obviously he was so anxious. He wanted to make the throw down to second, but to no avail. 0-1 the count to Conant. Here's the pitch. Low and in. Ball 1. And the count is 1-1 to Jeremy. Jeremy out of Pasadena City College, hitting .303 on the season for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Like we said, definitely a guy that looks like he will relish the opportunity to knock in an RBI. And he does have a man in scoring position here in the form of Chase Aldridge, first runner in scoring position of the game here in the top of the first inning. Breaking pitch in the dirt, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Conant at the plate. Rosales is on deck, the left fielder, and Max Warren awaits in the hole. So that's who's due up for the men in the blue, the Arroyo Seco Saints. Of course, the Pirates in their customary red shirts, white pants, red hats with the black bills. Wade comes set. The runner's going. Ground ball left side. Two-hopper to Patron, carrying him back towards the second base bag. And Patron comes up firing. And maybe he knew who was running down that first base line. Maybe had a little bit more time. It wasn't like Aldridge was running. And that'll do it here at the end of 1/2 inning. Score remains 0-0. Saints and Pirates just underway at Scalinos Field. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
When I die and I lay me to rest, gonna go to the place that's the best. When I lay me down to die, going up to the spirit in the sky. Going up to the spirit in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and I lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. Prepare yourself, you know what you must. Gotta have a friend in Jesus. So you know that when you die, it's gonna recommend you to the spirit in the sky. That's where you're gonna go when you die. When you die and lay you to rest, you're gonna go to the place.
And welcome back as we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score yet between the Saints and Pirates in the Sunset League matchup. 5th time these two teams have played each other. Actually, the number that Alec Patron wears on his back, number 5. Patron leading off for the Inland Valley Pirates. And here's the lineup as drawn up by Chad Cordero. First pitch, strike 1, 0-1 the count. Patron leading off at short, followed by Vargas, the catcher, DeMarte, the third baseman, and McKenzie is the cleanup hitter. That would be Brennan McKenzie, leg kicking the pitch. Strike 2, 0-2 the count for Race Gardner, the starting hurler for the Saints. Batting 5th will be Hopkins, followed by Cordoba, Wright, Anton, Luzzi, and Barron. That's what the lineup looks like for the Pirates. Just off the plate, ball 1, 1-2 the count. Here's what the defense looks like behind Gardner, left to right across the outfield. Rosales, Shipper, and Orpeza Reyes. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch off the end of the bat, fouled. And the count remains 1-2. Alec Patron, left to right across the infield. Briggs, Rouse, Aldridge, and Conant. And the catcher, Fuller, for the pitcher, Race Gardner. Race Gardner out of Azusa Pacific, a sophomore to be, delivers a ball, and it's 2-2. On the season, 21 and a third innings pitched for the Saints. 12 strikeouts, 3.79 ERA. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, down he goes. First out here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Alberto Vargas. Vargas, the catcher, out of Chaffee College, batting .291 on the season for the Inland Valley Pirates. And like we said, probably one of the leaders on this team, just in the sense that the guys just love him in the dugout as he's working over home plate, which he actually, before the game, he worked on home plate by himself for so long. Here's the pitch, strike 1, 0-1 the count. Obviously, as a catcher, he wanted to make sure that the dirt was perfect, but it was almost kind of a sight to see as he was just out there for a good half an hour, but just by himself, and nobody volunteered to come in with him and help him. Batter is hit, and that'll be the first base run of the day for the Pirates as Vargas hustles down to first base. Meanwhile, like we said, we saw the scoreboard turn on for a second, and it appears that it looks like it might be a couple Pirates that are trying to figure out how to turn it on. So not exactly sure if there's a problem with it or what, but they're definitely trying to figure this out right now and crack the code here in the bottom of the first inning. Meanwhile, line drive right center field off the bat of DeMarte. Catch is made by the center fielder Shipper. Shipper covering a lot of ground and tracking that one for the second out here in the bottom of the first inning. But for DeMarte, obviously good contact there, but obviously a better play by Lowell Shipper. So that'll be the second out, as we mentioned, as Brennan McKenzie comes to the plate for the first time. McKenzie getting comfortable with this batter's box, as this will be the place that he plays for the next 4 seasons with the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos. He's a freshman to be. First pitch to him. Misses inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. McKenzie hitting .370 on the season, 10 runs scored, and 10 runs batted in. And among other things, hit a home run against the Saints at Jackie Robinson Field last Friday. Here's the pitch. Blown away. Ball 2. 2-0 the count, so a hitter's pitch to come here to the cleanup hitter, Brennan McKenzie. McKenzie at the dish. Vargas at first, taking his lead off. And on deck is J.P. Hopkins. Gardner comes set. 2-0 fouled over the first base dugout. And the count is now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of 1. No score yet. Just underway at Scalinos Field. Pirates and the Saints. Brennan McKenzie awaiting the 2-1 offering. 6'2", 215-pound right-handed hitter. But meanwhile, we have a pickoff. Vargas is nailed, and that'll do it here for the bottom of the first inning. At the end of 1, it remains a scoreless tie. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com. We'll head to the top of the second inning. No score yet between the Pirates and Saints. Due up in the lineup for the Saints would be Fernando Rosales, followed by Max Warren and Alex Briggs. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Saints. After the Pirates, not sure if you'd say they were threatening or not, as they got a runner on base, Alberto Vargas, who was hit by a pitch, and then obviously got picked off, but got picked off with the big bat, the cleanup hitter, Brennan McKenzie, at the plate. Obviously, you never want to get picked off in general, but certainly not with the cleanup hitter at the plate. Here's the pitch from Wade. Breaking pitch, strike 1. 0-1 the count to Fernando Rosales. Rosales, an SBL All-Star this season at a Rio Hondo, batting .264 for the Saints. Here's the 0-1 offering from Kyle Wade. Fastball up and in, ball 1, 1-1 the count. We had mentioned in the previous inning that Kyle Wade was at Iowa the last 2 seasons, played in his redshirt freshman year this past season, and then redshirted the previous year. Upstairs ball 2-1 the count. The reason he redshirted a couple years ago was that he had Tommy John surgery. And so still kind of just working his way back is Kyle Wade. Late kicking the pitch. Line drive, left center field, and this could be extra base hits. Cutting it off is Luzzi, and headed to second with a sliding double is Fernando Rosales. So a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And just like that, Saints are in business here. And the top of the second inning, obviously, if they want to employ small ball tactics, they potentially could score this run without even getting a hit. If they sacrificed them with a bunt and then got a sac fly, that would be how you could manufacture a run here without even potentially getting another hit. Of course, Max Warren probably has other things on his mind. He's the extra hitter. Swing and a miss, strike one, fastball out of the zone. And the count is 0-1. Yeah, when you're the extra hitter, you're up there to hit. You're not going to sacrifice, especially in the second inning. As Max Warren, playing in Kenyon College in Ohio, said it was a bit of a culture shock going out to Ohio after being obviously a Southern California kid. And not sure if he liked it too much, certainly not the winters. As he's saying it's a lot different, even during the summer. As this pitch misses outside. Well, actually, not really during the summer because obviously he came back home for the summer, but just in general, talking about kind of the fall and the spring and how it gets humid there, and obviously not too humid here in Southern California. Meanwhile, Kyle Wade peering in at his catcher's sign, likes what he sees, and comes set, checks the runner at second, and fires home. Fly ball skied into shallow right center field in that Bermuda Triangle zone. Second baseman Annan's going to let it drop, and it's going to be a bloop base hit. The runner at second, Rosales, could not advance. But we said it was in that Bermuda Triangle zone, and what that means is you have three guys converging upon the ball at the same time, the second baseman, right fielder, and center fielder, and somebody's got to call for it, and nobody did. From where we were posted, it looked like Jared Anton, it was going to be his ball the whole way, but obviously an outfielder would have, the ability to call him off, as he's probably the last person that should be making the play. Should either be the center fielder or the right fielder who's running in. And tough play there for the Pirates. Now the Saints will sacrifice with 2 runners on and no outs. And they get it down to perfection. Beautiful bunt. Barehanded play by Wade. And that'll be the first out. So beautiful job by Alex Briggs. And now they do exactly what we were questioning if they do with Warren in the previous at-bat, just in the sense that, runs maybe at a premium, and you always want to get on the board first and take a lead. So it's easier to be ahead than to try to be climbing uphill and coming from behind. And unfortunately for the Pirates, they've experienced falling behind a lot recently. And they don't want to do it again here today, as Cole Pilar, the designated hitter, comes to the plate with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out in the top of the second inning. At third base, Fernando Rosales, who had the double and the left center gap. At second base, Max Warren, who had the bloop single to shallow right center field. Wade comes set. Here's the first pitch. Fouled out of play behind the plate. And the count is 0-1 to Cole Pilar. Cole Pilar had a Trinity, hitting .227 on the season with the Saints. Pilar batting in the number 8 spot in the lineup. So Pilar, Fuller, and Oropeza Reyes due up for Arroyo Seco. Wade checks the runner at third, nobody holding him on. As the runner on third trying to get in the head of Wade. Wade misses low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Yes, the runner Rosales kind of trying to maybe draw a balk and score a run that way as he took a hard sprint right as Wade was about to get set to deliver. Here's the 1-1. Inside ball 2. 2-1 the count to number 2-1 on the Saints. So Kyle Wade, he's going to take his time now and take the hat off, remove the cap, kind of just gather his thoughts and think about exactly what he wants to do on this next 2-1 pitch. corner infielders are playing in for a play at the plate. The middle infielders are back towards normal depth. So the middle infielders will concede a run, but the corner infielders, like we said, may be looking for a play at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Top of 2 here at Scalinos Field, Cal Poly Pomona. Here's the 2-1. Fly ball, shallow right field. That is a sky-scraping fly ball. This time, hitting right calls for it, and there's not going to be any tag there as it's too shallow. And so that'll be the second out here in the top of the second inning. Well, as for Kyle Wade, unfortunately, you're thinking about the fact that maybe you should already be out of the inning. If that previous fly ball in the Bermuda Triangle zone was caught, you would be. And obviously, as a pitcher, it's always tough as well because there's no other way to record it other than a bloop base hit, as nobody got their glove on it, even though it's a play that you feel like probably 9 out of 10 times should be made, or maybe even 10 out of 10 times if somebody gets underneath it. Here's Tom Fuller, the catcher out of Yale. Second Ivy League guy in the lineup for the Saints. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, strike 1. 0-1 the count to Fuller. Fuller batting .270 on the season with the Saints. So batting .270 but batting in the 9th spot. What's up with that, Coach? That's probably what Fuller's thoughts are. I don't think Fuller would say it that way, though. As we mentioned, Fuller is definitely a very intelligent guy. Had the opportunity to speak with him. Fastball, strike 2. 0-2 the count here. But he is way behind here. And Wade has a plenty of options to go with. He has his full repertoire open. And let's see what purpose pitch he wants to go with here on a 0-2 count. As he peers in at his catcher's signs, Vargas setting up on the outside corner. Wade checking over at third, takes a deep breath, and here comes the 0-2. Fastball blown by the hitter for strike 3. And a big strikeout there and a big inning there for Wade to get out of the inning unscathed and keep it a 0-0 game at the end of 1.5. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
There she stood in the street, smiling for I said, hey, what is this now, baby, maybe, maybe. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see. Now don't you wait, oh, hesitate. Let's move before they raise the fucking rate. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now. Let me take it now. I took her home to my place, watching every move of her face. She said, look, what's your game, baby? Are you trying to push it? I said, so, what was the past? Don't you think that love will last? She said, love,
To the bottom of 2 we go. Dave Soberi on the call for this obviously huge game for the Pirates, taking on the Saints. No score yet here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And Brendan McKenzie to the plate. So 4, 5, and 6 due up in the lineup for the Inland Valley Pirates. First pitch low and away, ball 1, 1-0 the count from Race Gardner. If you recall, Brendan McKenzie was actually up in the previous inning, and Alberto Vargas was picked off. Fly ball, foul territory, and it is out of play for a strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Bottom of the second inning. McKenzie at the plate, working against Race Gardner. So 2 SBL All-Stars up there This one's up and in. Dugout saying good. I think that was a pretty easy take there, as there was a little bit of chin music for Brennan McKenzie. Lay kicking the pitch. Fastball high and away for another ball. Lay kicking the pitch again. And it's a ball away. Ball 4. It'll be a walk for Brennan McKenzie and a leadoff base runner for the Pirates. No score yet here in the bottom of the second inning. The Saints with 3 hits so far, and the Pirates with none yet. So it's been a little bit tough in the first inning, although the Pirates, of course, just the second at-bat, as they did get a couple base runners. One was hit by a pitch, and one now draws a walk. Here's Hopkins. Hopkins up and in, ball 1. 1-0 the count to JP. JP, a second-year member of the Inland Valley Baseball Association, jumping ship from the Bucks to the Pirates here in 2016. 6'0", 195-pound right-handed bat. Ball 2 actually bounces by the catcher, and alertly, Brennan McKenzie takes the extra base on the wild pitch. And so Brennan McKenzie reading in the dirt. And he's done that a number of times. In fact, we've even seen him steal third base. And, I mean, with a guy that big in stature, you don't expect him to show that kind of speed. But he has demonstrated not just the speed, but also the understanding and the ability to read the ball in the dirt when it happens. Here's the pitch. Fouled out of play behind the plate, and the count is 2-1 to J.P. Hopkins. Hopkins' hometown of Chino Hills. Went to Chino Hills High School, where he's a first-team All-League selection. Last season hit .255 for the Bucks. This season at .256, so pretty similar season to last year for J.P. Hopkins this year. 2-1 is upstairs, ball 3, and the count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the second inning. Hitter's pitch to come. Hopkins at the plate, McKenzie at second. Hopkins hoping to maybe just trade spots with McKenzie. If he could do that, it would be a 1-0 game. 3-1 fouled, and it's now full. So J.P. Hopkins taking a big swing there, trying to get a hold of it, trying to rip it. And like we said, trying to give the Pirates a lead. And obviously, it's a lot different like we said in the previous inning, when it looked like the Pirates might fall behind, and they ended up coming through. It's a lot different when you take an early lead. 3-2 foul back, and the count remains full. So still a full count here for J.P. Hopkins. Hopkins with 5 runs scored and 4 runs batted in on the season. So looking for his 5th here in the form of McKenzie, who takes his lead off second. Nobody has been holding Brennan on. Chase Aldridge kind of just looking, but not really. Here's the 3-2. Lined into left field, but right at the left fielder. Second time today that a Pirate lined it into the outfield, but the second time today that it was pretty much hit right towards the outfielder. And so that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the second inning, as Nick Cordoba steps up to the plate, the DH, hitting .306 on the season. 3 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. Cordoba, a junior to be, and oftentimes you'll say, junior to be looking to find a home. Well, actually, he's already found a home. He's going to be here at Cal Poly Pomona as a student, and he's going to try to walk on. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, foul, out of play down the third base line, 0-1 the count to Nick Cordoba. Cordoba hit .333 last season for the OC Bucks, and like we said, this season at .306. So a guy that you can count on to bat over 300 is Nick Cordoba. Cordoba, the left-handed hitter, working against Gardner, the right-handed hurler. McKenzie taking his lead. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, good one at that for strike 2. And the count is 0-2. So Pirates get a leadoff walk. McKenzie gets to second on a wild pitch. Hopkins lines out to left, and now Cordoba behind in the count, 0-2. Nick Cordoba he always has a really good approach at the plate. Fastball high and away for ball 1-2 the count. He really has, you kind of call him like a professional type of hitter. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants to get accomplished at the plate. And for the most part, he's able to do it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch in the dirt, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Certainly also a contact hitter is Cordoba. More times than not, you will see him at least make contact with the ball one way or another. And certainly as a left-handed hitter, if you can just kind of bounce it to the right side of the infield, at least you could move the runner over in this situation. Although I'm sure the Saints would gladly take the second out on that type of play. Fastball off the plate outside, ball 3. Full count. So after Cordoba fell behind 0-2, he fights back in there with 3 consecutive balls, and that's after actually fouling off a pitch as well. So Cordoba about to see the number on his back. Pitch number 7 in this at-bat. Fastball low and away, ball 4. So Nick Cordoba comes all the way back after falling behind 0-2 to draw the walk. And up comes Hayden Wright. Hayden Wright, another second-year member of the Inland Valley Baseball Association, 5'9", 180, right-handed hitter out of Mount Sac, right down the street from here, about a mile and a half away. Wright attended Chino Hills High School before Mount Sac. First pitch to him, low. Oh, it's called a strike. Must have just caught at the knees for strike 1, and the count is 0-1. Wright hitting .222 on this season, but did go 2 for 2 in yesterday's game. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, sky to left field, and getting underneath it and making the grab is Rosales for the second out. And we do mean skied, as he was way underneath it, was the hitter Hayden Wright. Down goes Wright, and up comes Jarrett Anton. Anton, the second baseman, so you have 3 former OC Bucks in a row in the lineup coming up here between the likes of Cordoba, Wright, and Anton. All 3 of them among really the better players on the team last season. Obviously playing for the Pirates here this year. Breaking pitch, strike 1, 0-1 the count. Actually, Jarrett Anton last season led the team in batting average for the OC Bucks, 396 clip. This year it hasn't been as smooth or as easy, as he's just batting .214. Here's the 0-1, outside ball 1, 1-1 the count. He has the potential to try to bunt for a hit, and we've seen him try to do that a lot as of late. Not sure if it's because he's right around that Mendoza line of .214 or if it's just because it's something he's always done. But I don't remember him trying to do it as much as he's tried doing it in the last week or so. So obviously that's just something that you do that tries to, you see the ball, get down on the grass and you end up beating it out for a base hit. And obviously that starts getting you some momentum in the positive direction. 2-1 the count, 2 outs, bottom of 2, 2 men on. Anton at the plate, fly ball down the left field line, slicing foul, and the catch will be made anyways. So the inning has come to an end. Rosales with a busy second inning as he made all 3 plays, and at the end of 2, it remains a scoreless tie at Cal Poly Pomona. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
You, with your words like knives and swords and weapons that you use against me, you have knocked me off my feet again, got me feeling like a nothing. You, with your voice like nails on a chalkboard, calling me out when I'm wounded. You, picking on the weaker man. Well, you can take me down with just one single blow. But you don't know what you don't know. Someday I'll be living in a big old city, and all you're ever gonna be is mean. Someday I'll be big enough so you can't hit me, and all you're ever gonna be is mean. Why you gotta be be so mean? You, with your switching sides and your wildfire lies and your humiliation, you have pointed out my flaws again as if I don't already see them. I walk with my head down, try to block you out, 'cause I'll never impress you. I just wanna feel okay again. I bet you got pushed around, somebody made you cold, but the cycle ends right now, 'cause you can't leave.
10-1 and 2 due up in the lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints here in the top of the third inning. Dave Sobera on the play-by-play. So glad to bring you Inland Valley Baseball. Pirates, to be exact. Arturo Oropeza Reyes at the plate, followed by Lowell Shipper and Chase Aldridge. That's who Kyle Wade will go against in this third inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Well, the Pirates in the previous inning, I guess you'd say, were kind of threatening just a bit, as they did have 2 runners on base. Nice breaking pitch. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. With 1 out, they had 2 runners on, but both runners were walked by the starting pitcher, Race Gardner. Trying to bunt for a hit was the hitter. And the pitch must have just missed outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count. I think Wade was a little bit disappointed as he kind of shook his head, and I think he just checked the scoreboard just to make sure that it was 2-1. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Bounced right back at Wade, who actually kicks it over to the second baseman, Anton, and Anton's not going to have a play. And so that'll be an infield base hit for Arturo Oropeza Reyes. Alberto Vargas just kind of checking in on his pitcher, making sure he's all okay. And Wade nodding his head, yes, he's fine. As we mentioned, he basically just kind of kicked it. This hit sort of right at his foot. And not sure if he was trying to kick it to Anton or even trying to kick it to McKenzie, the first baseman. But we found out that Wade is not a soccer player. Here's the pitch. Strike 1, 0-1 the count to Lowell Shipper, who was 0 for 1. Flew out to the first baseman, Brendan McKenzie, in the first inning. Meanwhile, shades starting to come in a little bit here down the first base line as well as in right field. And you'll see it starting to cover kind of the home plate and pitcher's mound very shortly, up and in. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Another warm day. As you know, another heat wave out here in Southern California. Starting yesterday, going through the weekend. And scorching temperatures out in Pomona, as well as really in the entire Southland. I think you could say, and I think you could feel good about the fact that, well, you don't have to be in Palm Springs this weekend, as there will be baseball going on in Palm Springs. Power taking on the Force on Saturday and possibly Sunday. It'll be pretty warm down there. Although we experienced that last week. Fly ball foul, 1-2 the count. The Bucks went down there to play on Tuesday and Wednesday. And, I mean, you're talking about 7 o'clock starts and the temperatures being over 105, 107 degrees. So certainly we are happy that we won't have to be making that trip a little bit farther east of Pomona. Count is 1-2. Wade signaling something to the catcher, I believe, Vargas. I don't know if he was saying that he wants to throw it outside or not, but he was kind of pointing to his left, our right, if you could see it on your screen at home. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Actually foul tipped into the mitt, and that'll be strike 3. So down goes Shipper for the first out here in the top of the third inning. Kyle Wade with his second strikeout victim of the day. That'll bring up Chase Aldridge. Aldridge is 1 for 1. Singled in the first and stole second base, but ended up being stranded there at second. Actually, the Saints in the first couple innings, they've left 3 men on base already. So not able to cash in on their opportunities as of yet. Pickoff throw over to first, and it gets by McKenzie. And what's really tough about this is now he's going to be headed to third. McKenzie comes up throwing, and it's blocked by DeMarte. So you have an error on the pitcher, Kyle Wade. What's really tough about that pickoff throw and the error is the fact that the base runner in that play had maybe a 6-inch lead. I mean, he was literally about 6 inches to a foot away from first base. And so, kind of a little unforced error here for the Pirates. The middle infield is coming halfway in, and the corner infielders are on the grass. So the Pirates, if anything's hit hard right at them, they're going to go home to the plate. Here's the pitch. It's not going to matter. Line drive, base hit in the center field, and the Saints have taken a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Chase Aldridge. Aldridge 2 for 2 now today, including the obviously biggest hit of the day so far, the one that makes it a 1-0 lead for the Saints. Here's Spencer Rouse. Rouse is 0 for 1, flew out to right field in the first inning. Rouse, the number 3 hitter in the lineup for the Saints. So, how did the lineup do up here with a runner on first and one already in? Aldridge going again, slow off speed. It's called a strike. Throw down the second, not in time. And Chase Aldridge has his second stolen base today. So, Aldridge, and each plate appearance, singles and then steals second. Like we mentioned the first time, he ended up getting stranded there. And we were also just talking about how the Saints had happened to leave 3 on base in the first 2 innings, but obviously not here in the third, as the Pirates did give the Saints a little bit of help. Kyle Wade on a pickoff throw made a throwing error. McKenzie couldn't handle it, and it shot down the right field line, and Reyes was able to run all the way to third. Then on obviously the very next play, line drive base hit to center field off the bat of Chase Aldridge. And just like that, the Saints take a 1-0 lead over the Pirates here in the top of the third inning. Meanwhile, the second base got dislodged after Aldridge slid into the bag. And so they're working it over there. I guess Aaron Torres is the master at putting the bag back into its peg. And so he came out there to assist with Jared Anton and maybe Alec Patron as well. The count remains 0-1 here to Spencer Rouse. As Aldridge now in scoring position at second. Wade checks back at him and delivers. Bouncer in the dirt, 59-footer for a ball. Sticks on the board, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in a 1-0 game. Chase Aldridge with the big hit so far. The RBI single that knocked in Oropeza Reyes. The Pirates obviously over the last couple days have struggled. And that was after a doubleheader sweep on Sunday of the Oilers. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike 2, 1-2 the count. So the Pirates on Sunday sweep a doubleheader against the Oilers, who were leading and actually still are leading the Northern Division in the Sunset League. And then 3 games against the Surf. And, well, 2 of them were actually very close competitive games, although low scoring and the Pirates couldn't get too much offense. But one of them was an absolute blowout, but altogether lost 3 in a row. And obviously they entered the day on a 3-game losing streak. Fly ball, right field, right at Hayden Wright. Wright will make the grab. Aldridge tagging up. Wright makes the throw to third, but not in time. Oh, staying up on his feet was Aldridge, and that was close. And Aldridge kind of shaking his head. I guess he didn't think that they would be able to make the play to third. The dugout let out a roar, as it was pretty close, especially with him not sliding. I mean, if he slides, obviously it's not even close. But the fact that he stayed up on his feet DeMarte kind of swiped at him and just didn't get him in time. But that'll be the second out here for Kyle Wade in the third inning. Up comes Jeremy Conant. Conant's 0 for 1, a ground out to the shortstop. Wade out of the stretch from the right side of the rubber. Fastball foul back and out of play for strike one. 0-1 the count to Jeremy Conant. Conant hitting .303 on the season in that cleanup spot for the Saints. Working against Kyle Wade. Wade entering the day tossed 25 innings. So obviously this is now his 28th inning of work for the season for the Pirates. Here's the 0-1. Inside ball 1-1 the count. Wade 16 strikeouts to 8 walks in those 25 innings. Actually had a couple of strikeout victims today, so now 18-8 is his ratio for the season. So over a 2-to-1 ratio. If you can do the math at home. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball left side again. Pretty much the same play to Patron. A high chopper, and Patron handles it and makes the play. The inning has come to an end. So the exact same result for Conant as he had in the first inning. And at the end of 2.5, the new score, 1-0 on an RBI single by Chase Aldrich. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
And welcome back. To the bottom of 3 we go. 1-0 is the score. The Saints taking the lead in the top of the third inning on an RBI single by the second baseman, Chase Aldrich. First pitch from Gardner. Called a strike. 0-1 the count to Nolan Luzzi. Luzzi, the left fielder, out of Midland University, 5'11", 160-pound right-handed hitter. The 0-1. Bounced up the middle, and that'll get through for the first base hit of the game for the Pirates. Nolan Luzzi, he likes playing the Saints. He actually had a 5-for-5 game against them last week and scored 4 runs in that game. So he has some positive mojo going against the Saints. And obviously, 1-for-1 now here in this game and looking to maybe score another run for the Pirates and tie this game up at 1 apiece. Obviously, the Pirates with some work to do before that happens. Barron to the plate. Runner goes. It was a hit and run. Shattered bat. Aldrich will not be able to make the tag. Aldrich, he is so quick as he caught it and almost nearly tagged the runner who was going right by him. Tough thing there for Breon Barron. Well, aside from the fact that you're now going to have to spend about $70 or $90 to replace that bat, is the fact that, man, he actually pretty much did what he was supposed to do. He hit it to the right side of the infield on a hit and run, but obviously didn't put it just far enough to the right to where it could have gotten through. Top of the lineup we go, and Alec Patron, he takes breaking pitch ball 1. 1-0 count. Patron is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the first inning. But this is certainly a guy you like to have up at the plate with the tying run in scoring position. Alec Patron is a guy that you've been able to count on all season long. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Patron, who's 5'10", 180, out of Pace University. He'll be a senior next season in terms of eligibility. Hometown of Yorktown, New York, and went to Mahopac High School. Ball 3. 3-0 the count. The throw down to third. Luzzi is safe. Wow. My view was actually obstructed of the second base umpire as we had the catcher and Patron kind of standing in my view. And, man, Luzzi, he must have made a pretty great slide to be safe there because it looked like Fuller had him gunned out. But now the Pirates have a runner at third base just 90 feet away from tying this game up. And the pitch misses low and away for ball 4. Pirates looking to maybe even do more than tie it up as they have runners on the corners with 1 out in the bottom of the third inning. And Alberto Vargas to the plate. Vargas, no official at bat yet, was hit by a pitch on the second pitch that he saw in his first plate appearance against Race Gardner. Vargas now, the key will be obviously with 1 out situationally. You just want to send a fly ball as deep as you possibly can, and the game would be tied. Gardner checks over at third. Obviously nobody holding the runner on at third, and actually makes a pickoff throw to first. Trying to keep Patron at bay, trying to keep Patron really close to the bag because, as you know, with 1 out and runners in the corners, obviously the double play is open. And so the Saints could potentially turn 2 and get out of the inning unscathed. But when you have a leadoff hitter on base, oftentimes he's a speedy guy who is more often than not, if he has the opportunity, he's going to try to steal second. And obviously the Saints want to make sure that he stays at first as the catcher came over to talk things over here and strategize with exactly what they want to do against Alberto Vargas at the plate. Patron bluffs. Pitch misses low and in. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. That actually would have been a great pitch to run on as it was kind of a low and in off-speed pitch that took the catcher really in front, behind the hitter. So he would have had to kind of side shuffle out of the way of Vargas. Here's the 1-0. Inside, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Race Gardner. He's done a good job in the sense that he's only allowed 1 hit so far, but what's been tough is the walks and the hit batters. 1 hit batter. Actually, it was Vargas who's at the plate, the 2-0, in there for strike 1. Vargas was taking the whole way and laughing at his dugout, maybe just because he was taking the whole way. But 3 walks and a hit batter for Race Gardner in these first 3 innings of work. Pickoff throw over to first. Actually, a pickoff throw is really what helped the Saints get that first run of the game. Obviously, the RBI single was a no-doubter, but 2 bags were given up before that. Patron's off with the pitch. Fly ball into center field. And let's see if they're able to tag up here. They're going to try to tag the throw to the plate, and he is nailed. A great throw there from Shipper, and Shipper has made 2 exceptional plays in the outfield. 1 on DeMarte, line drive to right center field, and now gunning out Luzzi at the plate. And so it's an inning-ending double play. Line out to the center fielder, and then the center fielder throws home to the catcher, and they apply the tag. At the end of 3, it remains a 1-0 game. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com. top before we go. The score remains 1-0. Pirates were so close, I guess you would say, yet so far. Swing and a miss, strike one. 0-1 the count here for the pitcher, Kyle Wade, in his fourth inning of work, working against Fernando Rosales, who is 1 for 1 with a double. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, it hits the batter in the left arm. That'll be a leadoff base runner for the Saints in the top of the fourth inning. Rosales to first, Warren to the plate, and Briggs on deck for Arroyo Seco here in the top of the fourth inning. Well, the news of the day around the Sunset League is that the OC Surf, who had just not only swept the Pirates in a doubleheader, but beat them the day before that, beating them 3 times in 2 days. Fastball up and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Warren. Surf blew a 4-3 lead in the 9th inning against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals ended up winning. And they have now earned the number 1 seed in the Sunset League playoffs, which is kind of interesting for tomorrow as well, the 1-0. Inside ball 2, 2-0 the count. It's only interesting in the sense that obviously the Pirates have a double header with the Cardinals, so will maybe the Cardinals be resting some players or maybe playing some other guys that normally wouldn't get playing time? I guess we'll find that out tomorrow. Stay tuned. But just interesting because, like we said, they've already wrapped up number 1. So really, in terms of positioning in the Sunset playoffs, there's not much for them to do. 2-1 the count as the pitch was called a strike for Wade. The Surf, they have now clinched the number 3 seed because, believe it or not, the Northern Division champion will get the number 2 seed regardless of record. Here's the 2-1. Fastball outside ball 3, 3-1 the count. So the number 1 and 3 seeds have been clinched before the 2 seed. I mean, well, obviously you think the 1 seed gets clinched before the 2, but it's just kind of weird that the 3 gets clinched before the 2. But still, like we said, half of the playoff picture is set for the inaugural Sunset playoffs. Hitter's pitch to come, 3-1. The runner goes. Strike called to the plate. Snap throw down to first, not in time. And the count is now full. Sliding back head first to the bag was Rosales. And once again, Kyle Wade set to throw a payoff pitch, as he's had a number of full count offerings in this game. Wade on the mound. Rosales at first. And Max Warren, the left-handed hitter, at the plate. Here's the full count offering. Breaking pitch, chopped back towards Wade. Wade kind of snow cones it and flips it over to first. And that'll be the first out here. Basically, for the Saints, kind of just working almost like a sacrifice as they move the runner over with 1 out. And Fernando Rosales now in scoring position for Alex Briggs. Briggs, no at-bat yet, did have a sacrifice in the 2nd inning that was laid to perfection. And I don't think he could have rolled it on the grass any better than the way he laid that one down. Wade checks back at second, lay kicking the pitch. Breaking pitch, strike 1 at the knees. 0-1 the count to Alex Briggs at a PCC. He's batting .261 this season for the Saints. Briggs, the number 7 hitter in the lineup, followed by Cole Pilar, who's on deck, kind of working things out, stretching out over there in the on-deck circle. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball. Oh, I got it. Right over my head. And that thing bounces in the first row and ricochets back to the tent. The tent was an unsuspecting casualty of a foul ball. And unfortunately, also of some poor care that it received last night, as one of the arms has definitely been destroyed. I guess the tent has been going on, 3-4 years of life. I don't know if you can expect it to live much longer, but unfortunately, this tent is probably not living after the end of the season. although it's going to have to live for the next 3 days or however many games are left. Obviously, Friday as well as Sunday, and then next week if the Pirates make the playoffs. Here's the 0-2. Kyle Wade checks back at second. Nobody holding on the runner. That's Rosales. Fastball lined into right field for a base hit. And it's going to be 2-0 now as the runner comes home to score. It's an RBI single for Rosales. Tough there for Wade and the Pirates, just in the sense that you were ahead in the count 0-2. And so obviously had some kind of waste pitches to throw, although give credit to the hitter. Alex Briggs going after the low and away pitch and doing what you're supposed to do. You just punch it into the opposite field. Don't try to do too much with it. Don't try to obviously pull it. Otherwise, you're going to hit a weak ground ball to the left side of the infield. And just like that, the Saints have doubled up the Pirates here in the fourth inning. 2-0 the score. Runner goes, and it's a hit and run. And the Saints, they're in business now as he comes in and hits the cutoff man. And the Saints have put a couple hits in a row together, and they are looking to do even more damage in the top of the fourth inning. 2-0 the score. 1 run scored in the third, 1 in the fourth. And like we said, Saints looking for more with runners in the corners and 1 out. Tom Fuller, the catcher, to the plate. Fuller's 0 for 1. Struck out in the second inning. And as you can see, the shade is starting to become a little bit of a factor here, as it's encompassing most of the infield, at least from the middle to pretty much the right side of the infield. Runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 1-0 and 1 the count. The Saints are stealing at will here against the Pirates. Pretty much every single runner is off. And now the infield is going to play in for the play at the plate, with 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning and 2 runners in scoring position. You can see how important the game is as the Pirates playing for the play at the plate in the fourth inning. Pitch misses low, ball 1. 1-1 the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Still top of 4. Saints already with 1 run in the inning, and looking for potentially more with 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. Fastball low and away, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Well, it's tough just in the sense that for the Pirates, of course, the inning starts out with a hit batter. And then you get an out. And then after the hit batter, you're ahead 0-2 on Alex Briggs. And like we said, give credit to Briggs. He went after the pitch that was low and away and pushed it in the opposite field and gave the Saints a 2-0 lead. 3-1 the count, as this one misses way off the plate, outside for a ball. And it's now a hitter's pitch to come to Tom Fuller. Well, Tom Fuller, let's see if he finds something that he likes. Let's see if he can sit dead red on fastball. Wade comes set. Here's the 3-1. Fastball, foul behind the plate, and the count is full. I was just about to say, maybe it's not the worst thing to potentially lose the hitter to a walk here, just because if you have the bases loaded, then you end up having a force out to anywhere. And also you have the ability to potentially turn 2 and get out of the inning. So maybe not the worst thing to potentially get a walk here if you're Wade. Wade has other things on his mind. He was looking for the strikeout, and he's got it. Strike 3 called, and that's the second out here. Third strikeout of the game for Kyle Wade. Wade obviously still trying to get out of this jam, though, with 2 outs in the fourth inning and 2 runners in scoring position. This is Arturo Oropeza Reyes. Reyes is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. Scored the first run of the game in the third inning. First pitch to him, breaking pitch low, ball 1. 1-0 the count. The Pirates, in the bottom of the third inning, Nolan Luzy got as far as third base. And Luzy tried tagging up and scoring on a fly ball to center field. Little foul ball. And the count is 1-1. Fly ball by Alberto Vargas, kind of in medium depth. Certainly wasn't deep, but I wouldn't say it was shallow either. And Lowell Shipper, the center fielder, gunned out Luzy at the plate. And so you kind of had almost like a two-run swing there because the Pirates, you thought maybe would be able to plate one run, and now here the Saints get a run of their own. And like we said, they're looking for more with two runners in scoring position. And that's a hit batter, the second of the inning. Kyle Wade frustrated. And so the bases are loaded for the Saints in the fourth inning. A couple hit batters, a couple base hits as well for the Saints in this top of the fourth inning. And up comes Lowell Shipper. Shipper 0 for 2 at the plate, but has made a couple of great plays. And actually the play that we were just talking about is one of the plays of the game thus far, gunning out the runner at the plate. Wade, late kicking the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1-1 on the count. Lowell Shipper out of the University of Richmond, hitting .292 on the season for the Saints. So I guess a couple of Richmond players on the field between Shipper for the Saints and, of course, DeMarte, the third baseman for the Pirates. Here's the 1-0. Off-speed pitch, strike one. 1-1 the count. Just kind of painting the black on the outside corner. Dugout trying to give some inspiration or encouragement to Kyle Wade to try to get out of this inning. As we mentioned, the bases are loaded. At third is Briggs, second Pilar, and first is Oropeza Reyes. Wade deliberate, taking his time. Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch right back at Wade and through the middle of the infield. In comes one run to score. Another run's going to come home as well. And it's 4-0 Saints. Two-run single by Lowell Shipper. And so Lowell Shipper now trying to put himself as player of the game almost at this moment, just in the sense that, like we said, a couple of nice plays out in the outfield, and now a two-run base hit. And just like that, the Saints lead 4-0 in the top of the fourth inning. Kyle Wade was so close as the ball pretty much hit right by him. And he tried to basically make contact with it to stop it from going into the outfield, but wasn't able to successfully do that. And so the Saints get a couple more runs and still runners on the corners with two outs in the top of the fourth inning in a 4-0 game. Saints on top of the Pirates. So the Pirates, they entered the day with knowing what they needed to do. The magic number was down to 2, and they needed any combination of either 2 wins for the Pirates, of course, or 2 losses for the Saints. So what that meant was the fact that when you have both of the teams together, you could get 1 loss for the Saints and 1 win for the Pirates, and obviously would be able to clinch tonight. But it hasn't gone that way so far for the Pirates, trailing 4-0. And now you look at it, and it's just kind of once again an uphill battle to climb. And for whatever reason, the Bats, they need to wake up, and they have not been hitting too well over the last 3 days now in all these conference games, as they were definitely kept in check in all 3 of those games against the Surf. Here's a pitch, fly ball foul behind the plate, and the count is 0-1. Only scoring 1 run in 3 games against the Surf. And now it's beginning to look like a little bit more the same. I mean, you've had 3 at-bats and only 1 hit so far in the 3 at-bats. Obviously, though, still 6 at-bats to work with if you're the Pirates, but certainly you want to keep it at 4-0. Here's the pitch. Another foul ball. Once again, over the kind of the first base dugout, in the middle of the first base dugout, the third base dugout, and home plate. Wade, if you're Wade now, with a 0-2 count, your job is just to focus on the hitter and just try to make a pitch to get him out and turn it over to the bottom of the fourth. Wade working against Chase Aldridge. Runners go. Throw down to third. Wow. That was an awkward-looking play. The count's now 1-2. Awkward just in the sense that it looked like the runners weren't really sure about moving on the play, and they ended up both stealing anyways. There have been a lot of stolen bases in this game for the Saints. Too many. And the Pirates, I don't know what they got. They got to do a better job maybe of holding the runners to the bags, or it's just tough. You get that many stolen bases. Here's the 1-2. Lined up the middle, and it's another base hit. 2-run base hit for Aldridge as both runs come home to score. And it's 6-0. Chase Aldridge now with 3 RBIs in the game. Oropeza Reyes and Lowell Shipper score. Aldridge took second on the throw. It's a 5-run 4th inning for the Saints. This is the 9th hitter to come to the plate in this inning, Spencer Rouse. Rouse 0 for 2, both flyouts to right field. This is a line drive, but right at Hopkins. And the inning has finally come to an end, but not before 5 runs come home to score, and the Saints take a 6-0 lead at the end of 3.5. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Listen up, y'all, cause this is it. The beat that I'm banging is delicious.
Burgerlicious definition make them boys go loco. They want my treasures so they get their pleasures from my boat. So you can see me, you can't squeeze me. I ain't easy, I ain't sleazy. I got reasons why I tease them. Boys just come and go like seasons. Burgerlicious, so delicious. But I ain't promiscuous, and if you were suspicious, all that is fictitious. I blow kisses. That puts them boys on rock, and they be lining down the block just to watch what I got. So delicious. It's hot, so delicious. I put them boys on rock, so delicious. They want a taste of what I got. Taste it. Burgerlicious, 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 Burgerlicious definition make them boys go crazy. They always claim they know me, coming to me, call me Stacy. I'm the F to the E, R, G, the I, the E, and can no other lady put it down like me. I'm Burgerlicious, so delicious. My body stay vicious. I be up in the gym just working.
Pirates definitely have their work cut out for them if they want to try to clinch a playoff spot tonight. They trail 6-0. Obviously, for the Pirates, not necessarily the end of the world like we said. The magic number is at 2. So after today, they still have 3 games left, which means that they would just have to win 2 of those 3. But obviously, those 3 games are against the 2 teams who've already clinched playoff spots. So it won't be easy. The only thing you might be able to think about or say is that maybe those teams will be resting, because literally neither one of the teams, meanwhile, DeMarte hit by a pitch. Neither one of those teams really have anything to play for. They're both locked into their seats. So you might see, some guys who don't normally get to play as much in those games for those two teams, but obviously we'll wait and see. Obviously, they're still going to be trying to win with the players that are in there as well. But that's just something also to keep an eye on. But for the Pirates, this was the game that they really needed to circle and really wanted to win. Obviously, though, still 6 at-bats to go. Not out of the realms of possibilities to potentially come back from down 6-0. 1-0 count to number 1-0, Brennan McKenzie, who drew a walk on 5 pitches in his first plate appearance in the second inning. Actually, that Friday night game at Brookside that the Pirates took the Saints on last week, 1-0, line through the right side over the head of DeMarte. DeMarte had to duck as that thing was cracked. So hit and run. And it worked to perfection. Normally you see the hit and run like kind of grounders through the right side. That was just absolutely ripped. Line drive bullet off the bat of Brennan McKenzie. Just the second base hit of the day for the Pirates. But the Pirates now 2 runners on and no outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Looking to get something going and looking to just chip away at that lead any way they can. Here is J.P. Hopkins. Hopkins 0 for 1. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. Hopkins lined out to left field. Turned on it, pulled it down the left field line, but it just hung up a little bit too long as left fielder Rosales made the play. Here's a 0-1 breaking pitch. Inside ball 1. 1-1 the count. The dugout's starting to get a little bit vocal here as they're trying to will their team towards scoring a few runs here and cutting into the deficit. Meanwhile, the Saints now putting somebody in the bullpen, getting ready, maybe to come in the 5th inning. Low and in, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Well, if you're thinking about it, if you're the Pirates, Race Gardner, he hasn't been the most consistent. Just in the sense that he's hit batters, he's walked batters as well. So certainly you don't want to give him anything here if you're J.P. Hopkins. Here's the 2-1. Upstairs, ball 3. The count is 3-1. So J.P. Hopkins set to see a hitter's pitch. Can he sit dead red on fastball and look to kind of crank something down the line as he tried doing earlier? Hopkins at the plate. DeMarte at second. And McKenzie at first. 3-1. Swung on and missed. Pitch might have been outside. But like we said a lot of times on that 3-1, as a hitter, you're getting the fastball and you want to swing at it. And that's what he got there. And it was a swing and miss for Hopkins. Cordoba's on deck. Gardner checking back at second. Here's the full count offering. Line drive, left center field, but once again at the left fielder Rosales, who makes the catch. So, second time in a row that J.P. Hopkins lines it to the left fielder. Rosales coming in and making the grab. The underhanded grab probably about 6 inches to a foot higher than the outfield grass. And that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Nick Cordoba. Cordoba walked in his first plate appearance. First pitch, up and away, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Like we said, Race Gardner, he's walked 3 and hit 2 batters in 3 1/3 innings of work. So certainly, like we were talking about with J.P. Hopkins, you don't want to give him anything out of the zone, which J.P. may have done on that 3-1 pitch. Here's the 1-0. Wild pitch. And both runners advance in the scoring position. DeMarte to third, and Brennan McKenzie to second. So Nick Cordoba now with an RBI opportunity and a chance to, like we said, just start chipping away at that lead. As we mentioned, there are still a lot of at-bats to go, 6 to be exact. So certainly, if you get a couple here, you feel good about yourself. You feel good about cutting into that deficit and but maybe on the back of your mind, you know that this is a team that you happened to score 13 runs against just a week ago. So that might be in the back of your mind as well. Still just 2 hits, though, in this game. 2-0, foul tipped into the mitt for strike 1. 2-1 the count to Nick Cordoba. Cordoba at the plate, followed by Hayden Wright and Jared Hansen. So the 3 prior OC Bucks, second-year Inland Valley players, looking to get a rally going for the Pirates. This is lined right at the shortstop, and McKenzie was actually off a little bit on the base, and the shortstop, Rouse, actually checked over to third first. If he had checked immediately at second, might have been able to double off Brennan there. But luckily for the Pirates, they just get the 1 out. But there now are 2 outs here for Hayden Wright. But I don't know if it's a positive thing or not, but a lot of these outs for the Pirates, they've been line drives, just right at people. First pitch to Wright, bounces away from the catcher for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Not sure if he was crossed up or not, but certainly in play that, or a pitch that I think Tom Fuller, more often than not, would like to make the grab on. Race Gardner out of the stretch with 2 runners in scoring position for Hayden Wright. Fastball, strike 2. Actually, the previous pitch was called a strike, the one that the catcher didn't catch. So the count is down 0-2. So Hayden Wright is going to have to protect the plate here, way behind the count. Race Gardner has his options available as to what he wants to do here. Anything is open game. Here's the 0-2. Up and in. It was an off-speed pitch that Hayden Wright tried ducking underneath and got the benefit of the doubt from the home plate umpire. Obviously, though, it was up and out of the zone, but still kind of just a little bit funny. That's what a hitter does sometimes on 2-strike pitches. Tries to duck and make themselves smaller. Here's the 1-2. Low, ball 2, 2-2 the count. Hayden Wright was watching that one all the way into the mitt. I mean, definitely looked that one into the glove of Tom Fuller, the catcher. Like we said, Saints do have action in the bullpen. Here's the 2-2. Foul back and out of play, and the count remains 2-2 for Hayden Wright. Well, certainly, you want to score runs regardless if you're the Pirates, but certainly you'd like to score 2 runs off Race Gardner and then kind of knock him out of the game and get to the relievers and see what they have. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away, ball 3, and the count is full. It appears to be Brett Wheat out there in the bullpen for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It was either the number 6 or number 8. 3-2. Foul back. And Hayden Wright stays alive. Well, we know it's a single-digit number out there. And I'm sure we'll find out shortly enough. Maybe in the next inning or maybe in the 6th inning. Meanwhile, Hayden Wright with a 10 situation here. Full count, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Fly ball, foul, out of play again. 3rd time, Hayden Wright protects the plate and fouls off a 2-strike pitch in this at-bat. Hayden Wright about to see pitch number 9. Wright trying to put the Pirates in the right direction. DeMarte at 3rd, blowing his bubble gum. McKenzie at 2nd. Here's the full count offering, up and away, ball 4. You know, sometimes they say walks are free passes, but that one was nothing. You know, that was not free at all. That was definitely earned by Hayden Wright. Hayden Wright going deep in the count, fouling off a number of pitches. And now the bases are loaded. Actually just got word that it was Gilbert Hernandez in the bullpen, number 8. So we did say it was a single-digit number, but it was the number 8, not the number 6. First pitch, high and away, ball 1-0 the count to Jared Anton. Well, we were saying, we've been saying this earlier in the inning that, don't give this guy anything because he has had a lot of walks, a couple hit batters. And here's the 1-0. Fouled at a play over the third base dugout, and the count is now 1-1. But for the Pirates, how much do they need this right here? Bases loaded, 1-1 the count, 2 outs, Anton at the plate. Pirates trying to get right back in this game. Like in the pitch, the 1-1 in the dirt, ball 2, 2-1 the count to Jared Anton. Anton, like we said, just hitting .214 this season. Trying to get out in the right foot here. Gardner, 2-1. Fastball away, ball 3, 3-1 the count. Hitter's pitch to come to Jared Anton. The good news is, obviously, if you're Anton, you can probably sit dead right on fastball. Let's see if you can get something to drive. The 3-1, fouled back, and it's now full. Payoff pitch to come. And we do mean a payoff pitch here with a full count, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. Runners will be in motion with the pitch. So if it's a hit, certainly you figure that 2 runs would score. Here's the full count offering. The runners go. You can't leave it. You cannot leave that pitch if you're Jared Anton. He's called out on strikes. And the bases are left. 3 men left on base. And it remains 6-0. Well, we were saying, I guess that's part of it. You don't want to give the pitcher anything that's not in the zone. But on a full count offering with the bases loaded, that's not a pitch that you need to be taking. And that'll do it here for the bottom of the 4th inning. Score remains 6-0.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry.
Oh, baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Remember the day I set you free? I told you you could always count on me, darling. From that day on, I made a vow I'll be there when you want me, some way, somehow. Oh, baby, there ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, baby. Oh, no, darling.
No wind, no rain, or winter's cold can stop me, baby.
No, no, baby.
'Cause you are my
If you're ever in
love.
trouble, I'll be there on the double. Just send for me, oh, baby.
My love is alive. Way down.
And welcome back. We're heading to the top of 5. 6-0 is the score. Pirates trailing. Pirates. The offense has hit a cold spell over the last 4 games now. Like we said, just 1 run scored in the previous 3. And now here through 4, no runs and just 2 hits. Strike 1, nothing and 1 the count. New pitcher is Nathan Gilman. Nathan Gilman in relief here of Kyle Wade. So Gilman on the bump, the 6'4", 210-pound right-handed pitcher out of Willamette University in Oregon. Hometown of Chino Hills, and went to Diamond Ranch High School. Did number 26. Lay kick in the pitch, the 1-1, strike 2, and the count is 1-2. This is Jeremy Cunnin at the plate, the cleanup hitter, the only man who did not appear in the previous inning, as the Saints sent up 9 men and scored 5 runs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down he goes for the first out. Cunnin actually falls to 0 for 3 on the day, and that'll bring up Fernando Rosales. Rosales has reached both times, doubled in the second, was hit by a pitch, and scored a run in the 4th inning. It'll be a Rosales and then Warren. Should anybody reach, Alex Briggs awaits in the hole. Like we said, swing and a miss, strike 1. Pirates just need 2 wins. But today was the game that if he had won this one, it would have gone into the playoffs. Obviously now a lot more work to do, as they'll need to win a couple games down the stretch. Late kicking the pitch. 0-1 lifted into left center field. A skyscraping fly ball called for by the center fielder for the out. That was actually Joshua Jones out there in center field. That's the only substitution at the moment. So Joshua Jones entering maybe an inning or 2 early, as oftentimes it's really the 6th inning where all the changes come into effect. Strike 1, nothing and 1 the count to Max Warren. Warren's 1 for 2, singled in the second, grounded out to the pitcher in the 4th inning. How tough it was for the Pirates. Fly ball shallow left center field, and that is once again in that sort of Bermuda Triangle zone, and it falls for a bloop base hit. Well, how tough it's been for the Pirates, just in the sense that that 5-run inning, it's all pretty much with 2 outs. In addition to that, you have a runner thrown out at the plate, so that could have been a run scored. And also, in the 4th inning, you leave the bases loaded. So it's not like the Pirates haven't had their opportunities, and it's not like the Pirates haven't had the ability to potentially get out of the inning, earlier in that 4th inning. It's just that it hasn't, for whatever reason, the ball hasn't rolled the Pirates' way. Now we have a pass ball as Warren advances to second. And the count is 1-0 to Alex Briggs. Briggs, RBI single and a run scored in the 4th inning. Sacrificed in the 2nd inning. So Briggs definitely having a successful day at the plate, to say the least. Some situational hitting displayed by him. Like we said, first with the sacrifice in the 2nd inning, which we mentioned in his previous plate appearance, that thing was laid down to perfection. And then in the following at-bat, on a 0-2 pitch, going after the one that was low and away and just not doing too much with it, just going after it and pushing it into the opposite field for the RBI base hit. Here's the 1-1 upstairs, ball 2, 2-1 the count for Nathan Gilman. Gilman towing the rubber here for the Pirates in relief of Kyle Wade. Pirates have a lot of things to think about. They want to come back in this game, trailing 6-0 in the top of the 5th. Comebacker at Gilman. Gilman makes the flip to McKenzie, and the side is retired. Halfway through this baseball game, the score remains 6-0. Saints on top.
Mixtapes got a little Hank, little Drake, a little something bumping, thumping on the wheel, right? The mix in our drinks a little stronger than you think, so get a grip, take a sip of that feel, right?
9, 10, and 1 due up for the Pirates in the bottom of the fifth inning. Lucy to the plate, working against Race Gardner, who returns for his fifth inning of work. Ground ball left side, backhanded grab made by Rouse deep in the 5-6 hole. And the tag is applied by the first baseman, Conant, after the throw actually kind of pulled him down the first base line. And just like that, 1 pitch and 1 out for the Pirates in the bottom of the fifth inning. That'll bring up Breon Barron. Barron to the plate, and like we said, then we go back to the top of the lineup. Breon Barron has actually been swinging a hot stick as of late. Has gotten his batting average up to 250. Did have a 3-for-3 game a few games ago. Barron also with 6 runs scored and 5 runs batted in on the season. 1-0 misses upstairs, ball 2. 2-0 the count to Breon Barron, who's 5'10", 190. Played for San Bernardino Valley this past season. Here's the 2-0. Foul back, and it's 2-1. Hometown of Hemet. Went to Tockwitz High School. Did Barron. Barron will be headed to Georgetown College as a junior. Got signed by them this summer. Here's the 2-1. Blown away, ball 3, 3-1 the count. Well, not tallying all the pitches, but certainly in the fifth inning, Race Gardner has thrown a lot of pitches in this game. Little flare down the left field line, just fell, and the count is now full. The dugout was hopeful that the ball would land in fair territory, but like we said, just fell. And so, meanwhile, we have a couple guys coming in from the bullpen, but actually it's not the guy that we had mentioned was working out over there in the previous inning. Here's a full count offering. Low, ball 4. Another walk. There's 2 hits in the game for the Pirates. But the Pirates have actually had a number of base runners. But like we said, Pirates haven't been able to cash in on those base runners. Patron to the plate, takes strike 1 at the knees, nothing in 1 the count. Alec Patron is 0 for 1, struck out in the first and walked in the third. Patron hitting .283 on the season. Leads the team with 18 runs scored. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch, strike 2, nothing in 2 the count. This is more or less what his first plate appearance looked like. Fell behind in the count early. Nothing in 2. And wound up swinging at strike 3. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball left side, and that shoots through the 5-6 hole, so it's a base hit, the third of the day for the Pirates. Pirates trying to get a 1-out rally going here in the bottom of the fifth inning after Nolan Luzzi grounded out to the shortstop. Barron draws a full count walk, and Patron with a base hit through the 5-6 hole. Here's Alberto Vargas. Vargas is 0 for 1, lined out to center field, and that was the play that Lowell Shipper ended up throwing out Nolan Luzzi at the plate, as Vargas thought that maybe he was going to have an RBI sac fly. Here's a pitch from Gardner. Upstairs, ball 1. A 1-0 the count. If nothing else, certainly the Pirates hitters have been showing plate discipline in the last couple of innings, taking a lot of pitches, a lot of balls, like we said, out of the zone. The 1-0 misses low, ball 2. 2-0 the count. It's almost like the Pirates sort of sense it right now. It's go time. This is the time that they need to get some runs, especially after that previous inning, stranding the bases loaded. Here's the 2-0, blown away, ball 3. 3-0 the count. Certainly you think Vargas will be taken the whole way. And could it be? Will it be possible? Are the Pirates going to have the bases loaded for the second consecutive inning? Obviously, hoping to fare better if they do in fact get that in this inning than they did in the previous. Pitch is called to strike 3-1 the count. That was one of those pitches that if it's not a 3-0 count, that might not be called a strike. As we mentioned, anytime near the zone, a 3-0 pitch comes anywhere near the zone, usually called a strike by the home plate umpire. Here's the 3-1, lifted into left field, and it'll be a routine grab for the left fielder. 2 down. It was a high fastball to Vargas, and Vargas couldn't get on top of it. And oftentimes that's what you see happen when you swing at those high fastballs. You get underneath it because that's exactly why. They're high. So you kind of uppercut at them, and you fly them into the outfield. Here's DeMarte. Jonathan 0 for 1 in the game. Ground ball right at the second baseman, and an easy flip to second. The inning is over. Well, the Pirates, again, threatened, but again, surrounded a couple of runners. And that'll do it for 5 innings. At the end of 5, the score is 6-0. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com. Welcome back as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Pirates with widespread changes here. Katz in left. Jones, we mentioned in center, actually came in the previous inning. Line drive deep right field, and that is very well hit. Cooper looking back, and that one hits off the base of the wall. Heading to third base, actually now back to second is Cole Pilar. Cole Pilar kind of swimming back to the base. Man, you see how hard it is to hit it out of this park. Off the bat, almost thought it might be gone. But Cole Pilar with a wall banger. And just like that, Saints with a leadoff double. Right as we were giving you the new fielders, Saints line went into right field, and so we actually got Cooper in right field because we mentioned him on the call as the line drive was over his head. At third base now is Torres. At short is Verone. Second base is Glass. First base, McKetty. And the catcher, Marshall. Marshall just headed back out to the mound to talk things over with Nathan Gilman, who's in his second inning of relief. He entered in the 5th for Kyle Wade, who tossed the first 4 innings. and unfortunately allowed 6 runs. Breaking pitch, strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count to Tom Fuller. Fuller's 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. Kind of that twilight time now as the light is starting to fade. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And the lights here at Cal Poly Monona are starting to do their job and illuminate the field here. Fuller behind in the count, 0-2. Nathan Gilman out of the stretch with a runner on second base and no outs in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Upstairs and away for ball 1. 1-2 the count. Fuller at the plate. Oropeza Reyes is on deck. And then the Saints will turn it back over to the top of the lineup. Pirates, like we said, 4 games in a row now that they just can't get off the mat. Couple of games, though, were close, low-scoring affairs, but still, like we said, it's just tough when you can't put together hits. You can't piece together hits in general. I mean, throughout the course of the game, as you know, that yesterday I think they had 8 total hits in 2 games. Granted, they were 2 7-inning games, but still in 14 innings you have 8 hits. Fouled, and it's 1-2. And obviously wasn't easy the day before that either. Well, Pirates are certainly going to make it interesting, to say the least, if they don't, in fact, end up coming back here today. Because like we said, they had it in their hands. They had it in their grasp. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's actually the 3rd time that he struck out, and I think he now broke his bat. I mean, that was a loud crack. So Tom Fuller is frustrated, as we mentioned in that, he broke that bat. We mentioned in that 15-0 game, there was the one guy who hadn't reached base the whole game. And in a 15-0 game, this is a little bit different. This is 6-0, but still, in this game, you feel like pretty much all your teammates are enjoying success, and you haven't even gotten really bat on ball or bat in play. Ground ball. There's a bunt down the third base line, and it's a bunt base hit. The runner is going to go to second. Nobody's at second base. That is sloppy. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You can't leave a base open. And to the base runner's credit, Reyes, I mean, he was aware of it, and he ends up on second. He also, like we said, with Torres at third, I mean, he's not usually a third baseman, usually a second baseman, so maybe not really thinking about the bunt base hit either. Line drive, left field. That's going to be an extra base hit. 2 runs are going to come home to score. It's now 8-0 on a 2-run double by Lowell Shipper. Lowell Shipper now with 4 RBIs in this game. It's 8-0. Here's Chase Aldridge. Aldridge 3 for 3 on the day, so it's not going to get easier here for Nathan Gilman, as 2 runs have already been scored in the inning, and the Saints looking for more. Like in the pitch, strike 1, 0-1 the count. 3 singles for Chase Aldridge, 3 runs batted in, and 2 stolen bases. So obviously a pretty good day for him, to say the least. Here's the 0-1. Fastball, strike 2 on the outside corner. And the count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of 6. 8-0 the score. Fastball off the plate, ball 1. And the count is 1-2. Chase Aldridge, the Harvard man, going against Nathan Gilman. And here's the pitch. Off-speed pitch up, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Well, for Chad Cordero, it wasn't the managerial debut that he'd hoped for, as his team trails by a score of 8-0 in the top of the 6th inning. 2-2, line towards the shortstop Verone, and Verone makes the grab for the second out. Here comes Spencer Rouse. Rouse is 0 for 3, couple fly ball outs to right, and 1 line out to center field. It's almost amazing if you look at this right now. The Saints, with 8 runs scored, their 3 and 4 hitters are combined 0 for 6. Yet they have 8 runs. So, I mean, it's almost crazy just to think about, typically 3 and 4 hitters are your 2 best hitters in the lineup. And neither one of them has a hit yet. Strike. 0-1 the count. I mean, that's the only thing maybe for the Saints that you'd look at and you'd kind of raise your eyebrow at, other than, of course, the number 9 hitter, the catcher, who broke his bat in frustration after striking out for the 3rd time. Here's the 0-1. Lined right at the second baseman, Glass. Glass tries to block it, and the play is just made in time. Just kind of caught Glass in the middle. Wasn't sure if he should try to make the catch in the air or let it bounce, and then he blocked it and just had enough time to throw out the runner. And that'll do it for the top of 6th. Score is now 8-0. Pirates trailing. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
Just look at me. I'm limited, and just look at you. You can do all I couldn't do. So now it's up to you, for both of us. Now it's up to you. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today.
We'll head to the bottom of 6 in a 8-0 game. Mario Michetti to the plate. First pitch, fouled. Strike 1. And it's 0-1 to Mario Michetti. Michetti in to replace Brennan McKenzie at first base. Also, bouncer in the dirt, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Also, we have the new pitcher, Gilbert Hernandez, on the bump So Race Gardner's day is done. Race Gardner shuts down the Pirates. Line foul, and it's 1-2. 5 innings of work, and he stands in line for the victory. Should this score hold up? At the moment, score is 8-0. Hernandez out of Glendale College, hometown of Granada Hills, delivers the 1-2 to McKetty. A breaking pitch that just misses low for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Catcher wanted to throw it down to third for a called third strike. Well, maybe he's more aware of the strike zone than anybody else after striking out 3 times today. Fastball high and away. Ball 3. Full count to Mario McKetty. McKetty out of Pittsburgh State. McKetty swinging a very strong bat, even in this kind of slump for the Pirates. It's a ground ball, though, to the right side. Aldridge has it under control for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Up comes Joshua Jones. So Joshua Jones to bat for the first time in the spot of J.P. Hopkins, who finishes the day 0 for 2. Hopkins hit it hard both times. Both lineouts to the left fielder. Fastball strike, ball 1, 1-0 the count. Pitch missed low and in to Joshua Jones. Jones, 5'9", at Lindenwood University. He'll be a senior there next year. Lindenwood is in Illinois. 2-0 the count now to Jones. Jones at the plate. Cordoba on deck. So Cordoba will remain in the lineup for the Pirates. Ooh, Jones jumped on that one. All over that one. But was out in front of it. And so it'll just be a long strike for the pitcher, Hernandez. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 offering. Grounded back to the third baseman. Backhanded grab made by Briggs. Briggs comes up throwing and gets his man for the second out. A couple ground ball outs here for the Pirates in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Nick Cordoba, 0 for 1. Lined out to the shortstop in the 4th and drew a walk in the 2nd inning. Cordoba at the plate. And it'll be Zach Cooper on deck. Fastball misses low for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. Pirates looking for a 2-out rally. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. They're looking for something. Like we said, just looking for some signs of life offensively. Although, I mean, they did have the bases loaded in one inning. They left the bases loaded. They had a guy get thrown out at the plate, swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 the count. And they also had a couple men on the previous inning. But still, even with all those men on base, like we said, just 3 hits. Here's the 1-2. Fouled. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Nick Cordoba. Cordoba working against Gilbert Hernandez, who is working his first inning of relief. 1-2. Fly ball. Straightaway center field. Going back actually now towards his right is Shipper. And the side is retired in order by Gilbert Hernandez in his first inning of relief. At the end of 6, it remains 8-0. Pirates trailing. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of
top of 7 we go. 8-0 the score. Pirates struggling as Tyler Witt steps on the mound for his first inning. Lefty misses low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Jeremy Conant. Tyler Witt at a Wake Forest in the ACC. Well, the big news for the ACC is they just reached an agreement for a network. And so obviously that has definitely stabilized the ACC if it wasn't already stabilized in a time where you never know if somebody's going to jump to a different conference or not. 3-1, the count. Here's pitch. Ball 4. First time today, Jeremy Conant reaches base for the Saints. Once again, for the Pirates, this game has really just been one-way traffic. Strike 1, nothing, won the count to Rosales. Rosales is 1 for 2. Was also hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 4th inning, where the Saints scored 5. 1-1 the count. Tried to go at the backdoor breaking pitch. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Had one viewer in Netherlands, as this one's fouled back, and it's 1-2. Have a viewer in Long Beach, New York, and Las Vegas, Nevada. Also Queen Creek, Arizona. And then a few people out in California, obviously. But once again, sort of an intimate crew that's with us, or certainly that's remaining with us at the moment here in the top of the 7th inning of an 8-0 game. Pirates trailing the Saints. The Saints were the part of the equation that we're talking about with the Pirates, where their magic number was 2. And the Pirates just needed any combination of 2 wins or 2 Saint losses or a mix. So that's why the 1-1 would have gotten the Pirates into the playoffs today. But the Saints are saying not so fast. We still have the playoffs on our mind. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Or strike 3, excuse me. And down he goes for the first out. So this is also going to place importance on the game that the Signal Hill Oilers play on Saturday, because this is going to mean that if this score holds up, the Oilers as well will not get the clinch tonight. So it'll be at least one more day where the North Division is undecided and the final spot in the playoffs will be undecided. And that's final spot in the playoffs now. Maybe undecided for a few more days. Although, like we said, 2 wins technically. The Pirates can get that done tomorrow. Breaking pitch. Nice one at that for a strike to Max Warren. Warren's 2 for 3. Couple singles in this game. But behind here, 0-2 to Tyler Witt. Wild pitch. The count is 1-2. Advancing 90 feet, Conant to second base. Well, and you look at the schedule, that's, I guess you'd say, on deck in the Sunset League. Tomorrow, Pirates and Cardinals playing a doubleheader starting at 2 o'clock. The 1-2 outside ball, 2-2 the count. Saints and Sliders will do battle at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Saints and Sliders go at it again on Saturday. Ground ball right side. Kobe Glass has it. And he'll make the throw for the second out. Also on Saturday, the Oilers and Surf. And finally, on Sunday, Pirates and Surf, the only game of the day on Sunday. So the Pirates, well, I guess you'd say you still would hope that they may have that final spot in the playoffs locked up before Sunday, because they do have 2 games tomorrow, which obviously, if they won both, they would take care of business that way. But also, the Saints as well, they have 2 games before that game on Sunday. So what we're saying is there's still a lot of opportunities, one way or the other, for the Pirates to potentially make the playoffs. But at the moment, just the way that the offense is hitting, it's looking like it's going to be a tough task, especially like we said against the Cardinals and Surf. But that's why they play the games. You never know what's going to happen in baseball. I mean, this game obviously not over yet. Strike, 2-1 the count. Pirates do have a lot of work to do, though, with 3 at-bats to come if they want to get back in this one, trailing by a score of 8-0 against the Saints. 2-1. On away ball 3. 3-1 the count. Once again, bounced at Kobe Glass. Kobe Glass backhanded grab and makes the throw to McKetty. And the side is retired. It's time to stretch at Scalinos Field. 8-0 is the score. The Pirates trailing the Saints. You're watching on InlandValleyBaseball.com.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Get your programs, peanuts, Cracker Jacks, soda pop. You're out. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Play ball.
To the bottom of 7 we go. 8-0 score. Pirates trailing the Saints. This will be Cooper for his first plate appearance. Cooper entering in right spot in the lineup. Quinn Cooper. First pitch. Called a strike. 0-1 the count to Quinn. So Quinn up, and then following Quinn in the lineup will be Kobe Glass. The 0-1 lifted into foul territory, I believe. No, it's in fair territory. The catch is going to be made regardless for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Quinn Cooper retired, and that'll bring up Kobe Glass for the first time. Like we said, Glass and Anton's spot in the lineup. Then it'll be Zach Cooper. So Zach Cooper will bat in Nolan Luzzi's spot in the lineup. And it looks like Justin Katz is going to bat in Breon Barron's spot if Katz comes up in this inning. Here's the 0-1, high and away. Ball one, sticks on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of 7, 8-0 is the score. Pirates kind of just falling flat here today. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Up and away for ball 3. 3-1 the count. This is a new pitcher, Daniel Ensminger. Strike 2 call. So Ensminger in for Hernandez. Hernandez only tossing 1 inning. Oh, I guess the Saints are going to go with 1 inning the rest of the way, because it looks like somebody's warming up already in the pen. Meanwhile, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Glass is retired. That'll bring up Zach Cooper for the first time today. Cooper hitting in Luzzi's spot in the lineup. Zach is 6'0", 165, headed to Belmont Abbey College in North Carolina. Hometown of Alta Loma. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Well, if nothing else, it is a picturesque night for baseball. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. Maybe it's a little bit warm, but you can see it at home. Looks pretty. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Here at Scalinos Field. I always like when it's fading from daylight to night here. Called strike 3 and he's out. He really didn't think that was going to be called, but looked like a good pitch. Definitely from Ensminger. Side retired in order. We're through 7, and the score remains 8-0.
The
To the top of 8 we go. 8-0 is the score. New pitcher is Skylar Bates, 6'4", 210. Right-handed pitcher out of Penn State. Junior to be there. First pitch, fouled off the mask of Landon Marshall. And the count is 0-1. This will be Ryan Watts. Ryan Watts pinch hitting here for Cole Pilar. Here's the 0-1. Ball one. 1-1 the count. Skylar Bates head of the windup. The 1-1 misses low, ball 2. 2-1 the count. Well, things clearly haven't gone to plan for the Pirates. Ooh. That's a tough one. Kind of coming up towards the head. Luckily, it just hit him in the arm. And he'll run it off down the first base line. Glad that, didn't end up doing any damage, really. Just kind of might leave a black and blue. But certainly that must be frustrating as well, as a guy who's obviously sitting on the bench for 7 innings, and you come in and you get beaned by the ball. He's thinking, why did that have to happen to me? Here's Tom Fuller. Fuller with a fresh stick. Fouled. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Yeah, he actually broke the bat on his own after his last at-bat. Slammed it into the dirt. That, of course, was following a strikeout, if you're wondering. Now, why would he be slamming the bat when his team's up 8-0? Second in a row, hit by a pitch. And Bates has been wild this season, and he's showing it right now. Hitting the first 2 batters he faces. And Chad Cordero calling for time. I don't know if he's going to try to settle him down or what. Well, a long little visit to the mound by Chad Cordero, who takes his time heading back to dugout. Pirates really no other way to put it. Shattered bat, and stepping on third is Torres. Torres actually could have made the throw to second, and they might have been able to turn 2. But he gets the lead runner. So obviously not the worst thing there, as the bat was completely shattered. Up comes Lowell Shipper. Shipper's 2 for 4. 4 runs batted in and a run scored. Shipper, the SBL hitter of the week a couple weeks ago. First pitch. Strike one, nothing and one the count. Back at the top of the lineup for the Saints. I was going to say Shipper and then Aldridge, but there is a pinch hitter on deck for Aldridge. Here's the 0-1, strike two. Nothing and two the count to Lowell Shipper. Skylar Bates, the fourth pitcher used by Inland Valley in this game. It started with Wade, who went 4. Wade gave up 6 runs in those 4 innings. Nathan Gilman worked innings 5 and 6 and gave up 2 in the 6th. Tyler Witt pitched 1 scoreless inning of relief. Ground ball again to Torres. Torres bobbles it. And so Lowell Shipper reaches on an error. Well, certainly Torres struggled yesterday when he played third base, and it continues here today. Another error for Aaron Torres. The bases are full of Saints. Grounded right back at the pitcher, and Bates to, oh boy. It's just bad baseball. There's no other way to say it. I mean, you get a comebacker right to the pitcher. You have a double play to end the inning. And instead, you can't catch the throw from the pitcher. It's 9-0. Couple errors in a row. Strike called at the plate. Well, this is another game that's getting out of hand, just like the first game against the Surf yesterday. I think part of what makes it frustrating maybe for Pirate fans is, I mean, it's one thing to get beaten, but it's another thing to kind of play sloppy and to make errors and just not look good and just not play good baseball on top of it. I mean, it's not obviously bad if you're getting beaten by what you feel to be a much better team or something like that, or if a team that just kind of outclasses you. But maybe not as much in this game, obviously, but especially in that 15-0 game where you make 6 errors. Line drive, right field, second out, trying to tag up. Throw from Cooper is cut off by McKetty, McKetty deflects it, and it's now 10-0. RBI sac fly by Spencer Rouse. Well, McKetty, I don't know. I guess he thought it was offline, so that's why he tried to cut it off. But might as well just let it go through and see. What do you got to lose? It's 10-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Jeremy Conant to the plate, 0 for 3. Takes ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Two and 0. Pitch misses low and in. Nothing coming easy for the Pirates. Ball 3-0 the count. 2 men on base for the Saints. Jeremy Conant at the plate, the cleanup hitter. Facing a 3-0 count. See if they green light him. Nope. Strike one, 3-1 the count. Might as well green light him. And it's a 10-0 game. He's a cleanup hitter. but kind of taking the whole way there. Got underneath that one. Fly ball. Big league fly to right field, caught by Cooper. Side retired. We're through 7.5. The new score 10-0. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Justin Katz steps up for the first time and takes strike one. And the count is 0-1 to Katz. Katz going against the new pitcher for the Saints. A little ground ball that might be an infield base hit. Katz is going to get an infield base hit. And so the Pirates have a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Charlie Verone. Verone batting in Alec Patron's spot in the lineup. And then Landon Marshall will follow Verone. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Like we said, all the changes were made in the 6th inning, so some guys still haven't gotten at bats yet. As this one's foul, then it's 1-1. Charlie Verone, like we said, this is first at bat, as is it's going to be Landon Marshall, who's on deck, and Torres, who's in the hole. Pitch misses for ball 2, 2-1 the count. I don't know if it was one of the players or the coaches, but yelling down, 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 kind of alerting Fuller to where the ball was. But Katz staying put. It didn't go far away enough. And even if he couldn't find it and Katz ended up getting the second, I don't think it would be the biggest problem here for the Saints, who lead by a score of 10-0. Here's the pitch. Grounded through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. 2 hits in a row for the Pirates. New pitcher is Garrett Hill. Here's Landon Marshall batting in the number 2 spot in the lineup, and as you know, it's an entirely new lineup, so not sure if the whole number 2 spot in the lineup really means anything. 2 runners on, no outs. Bottom of 8, ground ball. Could be a tailor-made double play. 6-4-3, double. Oh, no. Off the bag was the first baseman, so just the 1 out at second. Marshall reaches on the fielder's choice. And that brings up Aaron Torres. This is Aaron Torres' first plate appearance, and this is actually the last guy to get his first at-bat, and then we'll get to McKetty, who has already had one plate appearance in this game. So McKetty, and then the rest of the people who were substitutions for the Pirates due up in the 9th inning, and well, here in the 8th as well. Strike one. Nothing on the count. Actually just got a little bit of a wind gust, which is just funny because you're not really feeling wind behind the plate here, but obviously on the field there's little dirt storms in the infield. 1-1 the count. Low and in for a ball to Aaron Torres. Torres at a Midland University. He'll be a senior there next season. 5'6", 160. Hometown of San Dimas. Went to San Dimas High School. Before runner goes really early. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 1-2 the count. Certainly Marshall wanted to get out of the possibilities of a double play there. But meanwhile at the plate, Torres behind in the count, 1-2. Two runners in scoring position. The Pirates trying to save face here, but a swing and a miss. Strike three. Wild swing and a miss for Aaron Torres. That one pretty much nowhere near the zone, high and away. And here comes McKetty. McKetty 0 for 1, grounded out to the second baseman. And like we said, for the Pirates, they're just trying to do exactly what we said, save face. Strike 1-0 and 1 the count. Just trying to put up a couple of runs here. McKetty 5'10", 175, out of Frisco, Texas. Went to Frisco Centennial. 1-1 the count. Management major at Pittsburgh State. Trying to manage this situation here for the Pirates and maybe score 2 runs with one swing of the bat. Get a line drive into the outfield, maybe, and make it a 10-2 game. Somebody in the dugout saying, do something cool, Mario. Ground ball left side right at the third baseman, and Mario is retired. We're through 8. It's 10-0.
That
Art Corona in, first pitch swing and a foul for strike one. 0-1 the count to Fernando Rosales. And the Pirates trailing by a score of 10-0 here in the top of the ninth inning. The Saints line foul, 0-2 the count. Saints saying, why not us? They're trying to make the playoffs just as the Pirates are. And what this win has done is, first of all, obviously the Pirates don't clinch. Also, the Oilers don't clinch. And also, I think the Sliders still have an outside shot as well. So basically what this result did was it kept all 6 teams still in the race, although obviously, 2 already clinched. But it kept the other 4 all in the race. Line drive, left center field, base hit for Rosales. And more importantly, it's making things a lot more tough for the Pirates. Here's Max Warren. Warren's 2 for 4. Strike one. 0-1 the count. Well, you look at it, and here's the pitch. Inside, ball, 1-1 the count. The Sliders are actually officially eliminated because at the best case scenario, they would be 11-14 even if they won their final 2 games. And if they did that, that would actually put them ahead of the Saints. Oh, no, they're not eliminated. Excuse me. Because the Pirates only have 10 wins. So actually, it's true. The Sliders are still alive. And believe it or not, they have a chance to get in. I mean, they were struggling the whole year, and they came on strong towards the end, but it seemed like too little too late. But called strike 3 at the plate, first out. But no, and just looking at it now, it just so happens that they're playing the Sliders. The Sliders and the Saints are playing the next 2 games against each other. So the Sliders, if they were to win both against the Saints, that would mean they'd have one more win than the Saints, and it would also mean they'd have one more win than the Pirates. Of course, the Pirates do have 3 games, though, to make up for that. And the Pirates would just need to get to 11 wins, regardless of which team they end up, if they end up being tied at 11, because the Pirates are going to end up winning the season series from both of those teams. They beat the Sliders 3 out of 5, and they beat the Saints 3 out of 5, even though it doesn't seem like it in the 10-0 game today. So in that case, well, Pirates do have the tiebreaker head-to-head with both of those teams that they're kind of going after that final spot with. Have to figure it out for the Oilers. Did the Oilers clinch by tonight? I don't think they did. I think they still need one game, either a loss from the Saints or a win from themselves, because the Saints can still get in as the Northern champ. So the Saints can still take the North if they win out, and if the Oilers lose that final game. The Oilers only have 1 to play. 3-1. Grounded towards Glass. This should be a 4-6-3. Inning-ending double play, and it is. That'll do it for the top of the 9th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th in a 10-0 game.
And I don't want to see me
welcome to the bottom of the ninth inning. 10-0 the score. Joshua Jones at the dish, followed by Nick Cordoba and Quinn Cooper. That's who's due up. Actually, Conlon McKenzie is going to grab a bat, so McKenzie's going to hit in the DH spot following this at-bat for Jones. Fastball, strike one. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. Another new pitcher. This is Paul McAllister. Has a tough at bat for Jones. Swing and a miss, strike three, down he goes. Pirates down to their final 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Barring an insane comeback, Pirates are going to fall to 10-12 in conference play. And that was after we had mentioned they were trading kind of wins. They were alternating wins and losses back and forth. And they were 8-8. And then all of a sudden they got a doubleheader sweep, made it to 10-8. And ever since, haven't been able to do much of anything. Ball 1-1-0 count to McKenzie. In fact, they've lost 4 times in a row since getting the 10-8. And like we said, we'll now be 10-12 at the end of the day and just have a half-game lead on the Saints for the final playoff spot, as the Saints will improve to 10-13. But even though it's a half-game lead, the good news for the Pirates is that the Pirates do have the head-to-head tiebreaker that we were talking about in the previous half inning. So if the two teams finish with the same records, advantage Pirates, meaning they would be in the playoffs. Little chopper in front of the catcher, and he's out. Conlon retired here for the second out. Well, I know some of the Sliders fans and players will be happy about this result, knowing that they have not officially been eliminated yet after this result. I think even happier would be the Saints, because the Saints were the ones who made it happen that way, because had the Saints lost, they would have been in the same boat with the Sliders. It's so kind of weird or funny that basically by the Saints winning, obviously they keep themselves alive, but they also keep the Sliders alive, who they now end up playing the final 2 games of the season. Here's the pitch. Lined over towards the third baseman. Nice sliding play. And catch is not completed by the first baseman. I think you got to rule that an infield single, only because, well, I don't know. Who knows at this rate? I'm content with giving it an infield single. I mean, he hit it well. It was a great play made by the third baseman, and would have been another good play by the first baseman had they made it. But anyways, we're just going to give that an infield single. Here's the pitch. Fastball up, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Kobe Glass, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So Kobe Glass at the plate. Zach Cooper on deck. Strike 1, 1-1 the count. This has been a long game. 3 hours in the making. 1-2 the count. What's crazy, I mean, I got to go back to think about that 15-0 game. It didn't seem like it. Now, maybe it's because of the nature of it being a 7-inning game, but it didn't seem like it dragged as much as this game did. Now, maybe it was also because it was earlier in the day. I don't know, but this one has certainly dragged along. Whoa. There's something coming down and hitting me from the fence. I think it's a cobweb. It's actually pretty nasty because now I think it's in my eye. I can't see. Pirates down to their final strike. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. 10-0 the score. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Down you goes. And side is retired. The inning and game has come to an end. Pirates fall to the Saints. So the season series ends up being 3 for the Pirates and 2 for the Saints. And both of these teams now with 10 wins. Pirates with 12 losses, the Saints with 13 losses. So the Pirates half game ahead for the last spot in the playoffs at the moment. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time, 2 o'clock tomorrow. The Pirates will take on the Solano Beach Cardinals in a doubleheader. So definitely check that out on InlandValleyBaseball.com.